comes with the neighbor's children, they come up to me and just scream like idiots. And I finally, that's not enough. I just couldn't take it anymore. I called the kids retards. Then the mother comes screaming at me, don't call my children retards. I'm going to put you in a nursing home. Is there anything I can do with these people? Because they're getting ridiculous. I mean, I don't bug anybody. I'm a single woman. I work from home. You know, I'm peaceful and quiet. I feel like the perfect neighbor. You barely ever see me.
You know, there's like I hate a lot of things. I'm a hateful person. I've got hate in my heart. I I hate loud noises. I hate trains. Like the sounds of trains. I think trains as a whole very cool, very cool machine. But like I hate honking horns. You know, used to live in Glendale. It was like literally nonstop. Like cars honking, revving at a stop sign, whatever. I hate it. Never once have I have I walked out of my door and gone, you know what? The first car that honks at me today, I am going to shoot at. I'm gonna pull a gun out of my pants and I'm going to shoot at a car that's making noise. And
I would say that's extreme.
right, that'd be an extreme behavior, right? But like let's take it down a bit, right? A car's driving past. Have you ever felt the urge to go, hey, scream at that car? Have you ever felt the urge to just like, hey, you're being too loud to a car that's driving past you? Again, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, I would say no, especially because they're passing. So it's,
Yeah,
you know,
you know, like, okay, so let's let's change it a little bit. Now, what if that car was next to you? That car's next to you. You're driving next to that car. You're at a stop sign. Their exhaust is a little loud. Are you gonna roll down your window and are you gonna yell at them like, "Hey, I know you have an illegal exhaust. I'm gonna report you to the cops." No, because again, I'm gonna answer for both of us. I think it's pretty easy to answer on this one. No, because that's crazy. That'd be patently insane. And I think we can extrapolate that to, you know, living next to kids. Like, if you're the person that is keying a car in a parking lot because you felt like they drove too fast in the parking lot, you're this person. You're this woman.
that is
If
like extremely entitled behavior.
yeah, if you see someone in a place that you work and maybe you went to high school with them and you spit in their drink, you're this person. You know, you're the same type of person. And we're here on the Red and Dread podcast, and we're talking about the perfect neighbor. Um, it is funny because she does call herself the perfect neighbor constantly.
She does. She does refer to herself as like literally the perfect neighbor. Doesn't bother anyone. Now, mind you, she's made multiple over those months. She made multiple phone calls to the police. Like, it's crazy to me that they never. You know, I get it. I could understand to a degree. You know, cops coming out for these silly calls, like kids are making noise, playing, trespassing. She would claim, but mind you, it was an open field that was not her property. It was essentially public or like community property. So the fact that they didn't pick up on the pattern that this lady was escalating, like, you know, in the manner she called the police, what she was saying, and like a lot of times in the incidents that were happening, they were getting more confrontational with these kids, you know, every time.
Yeah, yeah. Which that's a real good point. She was continuously escalating situations. I think one of the cops at one point was like, "Well, like, yeah, I could clearly see that sign has been fucked with." Like that no trespassing sign. Somebody's clearly I could see a footprint on it. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
And then it was like burned or something, but there was no evidence that any kids did that. I mean, she might have did that just so she had something to show, like
I
to the
mean,
cops. Like,
okay, let's because you were a kid, I was a kid, we were both kids with other kids. We didn't grow up like really isolated. We did grow up in probably a very similar neighborhood um, where there were lots of other kids to play with, and we took up space. That's fair. That's how you grew up.
yeah, exactly. Same close, kind of close knit housing communities.
Yeah.
We would play in the open fields, the empty fields, whatever. We would
Now,
build
if any
ramps and shit for our bikes, all that. Play football.
bro, I'm sure the building the ramps and shit like scared someone, right?
Oh yeah, we would definitely get it would get back to us that people were telling, like, I don't know, management or whoever ran like the area
Yeah.
that we were living in, like, oh, they're building jumps over there. And it was, now mind you, their concern was more about, from being older, I understand, like, when what they were telling us was they're more about us get worried about us getting hurt versus like,
Yeah.
because that
They
shit
didn't
kids are
call the
gonna do.
cops
But
on
they were
you.
like, no, they didn't. Not
Yeah.
once. They were just more like, all right, well, you guys need to be careful because like you could break your neck out here, and then what? Like,
And nobody's out here. Like,
and when you're, yeah, basically, it's just other kids, and it's just not a good, or no one. Yeah, some kids out there by himself one day because everyone
yeah.
else is gone, and so being older, I get it. But yeah, it had nothing to do, like, there was no formal complaints filed. It was more, I could say, genuine concern.
Yeah. And like I'm in the same space with me, people were mad that I was skateboarding. They would call but they would call my father, he's like, "Well, he's in the street, like what do you want him to do?" You know? But like even when it got even more extreme, like say we're like early high school, right? Skateboarding constantly getting kicked out of spots by security guards, by store owners, like, "Hey, can you not like rip apart my parking lot?" Yeah, but like, I mean, the cops would come like what, once every 1 in 10. So it's like even then, like we were like detracting from someone's business.
Yeah, yeah.
And like they weren't like coming out with a gun.
They're like, it's just kids.
Yeah, yeah, they were just like, "Hey, keep it moving," like,
And the fact that she had supposedly like shown the gun to the kids. Like
yeah,
they
like,
knew she had a gun previous to like this shooting going down. And for those of you who are tuned in and may not be exactly familiar what we're talking about, um February 2023, Ocala, Florida, um AJ Owens, a mother walks across the street to the neighbor's house. She wasn't looking for trouble. Um her kids told her that the neighbor was messing with them, supposedly took a tablet and had thrown some rollerblades, at her kids. So any parent being told that is more than likely going to go and approach the person responsible. So she goes across the street, knocks on the door. Mind you, she might have knocked on the door aggressively, but the lady in the house decides to pull her weapon and shoot through the door blindly, mind you, not knowing exactly what's on the other side. Could have been a child, could have been a million things. Yeah, and shot and killed AJ Owens' mother of four, 35 years old. Lost her life that night because of a lady that felt, I feel, entitled and tried to use fear as an excuse to act out what she wanted to over months of a pattern of escalation. So pretty crazy. It was really it was a real dose for me of like things that are, this isn't the first case like something like this happening. So it was just a little reminder that yeah, these things are happening, every day.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was an interesting documentary. It was kind of raw to see it through like body cam footage the way.
Yeah, that's one of the things I wrote down. Like body cam footage is, it's available for all of us, right? Anybody can request it anytime. I think that's a quality resource. It made me really think about like where else would I like to see that, you know?
Yeah,
I would love to see that in the classroom. I would
that's actually,
slap
yeah.
some body cams on those teachers.
Yep.
I bet you half of the kids that are misbehaving would change overnight. And the ones that are still misbehaving, they're gonna misbehave. So we're gonna figure that out. But I just thought it was like, I don't know, like just like having such raw emotions be available to go back and see as a family. I thought that was even a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
Like there is a record of like me hearing like I lost my mother. I can see how I felt at that time. Like even if it gets, lost in, you know, other areas of depression, like you can lose the moment that like led you to feel sad, and that can just be even worse. And just like having that as an option for some of these people, like that's I see that as a really big positive. I thought that's.
Yeah, I could agree. I agree with that.
But now, why haven't we gotten more videos more movies and documentaries like this? Like
Yeah,
the
that
guy.
was I like it was a good way to see the events unfold, which were tragic. I'm saying the events were tragic. I'm saying the way they chose to display it to us was good because it was like raw and natural, and you could tell not really they didn't alter the footage or mess with it too much. I'm sure there were
Yeah,
edits on things, but it made sense. Like I didn't feel like something was left out to where I'm like, well, we don't know about this. What about like if they try to make it look like it all kind of fit, and you were easily able to follow like along with the story and the events as they were unfolding, like one after the other. So it was interesting. It's interesting that, like you said, that we don't see more cases documented in that way. But they might have opened the door on that because this is the first documentary in a long time I've seen where it's just pure raw like body cam, nothing else.
yeah,
Some voiceovers, obviously, but really it's just straight raw footage.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I thought the style of how they chose to tell that story was incredibly moving, and I think that might be a real. I hope the filmmaker keeps this relationship with Netflix. I think this is a great example of like a documentary style that could um, define Netflix as like a journalistic like cornerstone. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
PBS has um, these photo essays that they do with this old white guy, but like it's dated. It's they're hard to
It's
listen
PBS.
to. I mean, yeah, it's PBS. The topics are like, they range from everything from like World War One to like prohibition. I mean, great. They read letters and stuff like that. But like that is an ancient, like archaic version of doing something like this. This is everything in the moment through, through the eyes of someone that we don't like, which is an issue. It really does color the narrative.
I
Like
mean,
you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you're never gonna be able to, like, the body cam would have to be on somebody's completely different, like, for us to get a relaxed narrative of what's going
Yeah.
on. So it's like, okay, we do have a little like high tension always, but like that's great for entertainment, like I was on the edge of my seat. I knew what happened the entire time. Like,
It- that's a really good point I was going to get at myself. Like, you kind of know the end result already. It starts out, not to give spoilers if you haven't seen it. Netflix, The Perfect Neighbor documentary of the events that unfolded that night. So if you haven't already, definitely, go check that out. But yeah, in the beginning, you kind of already get a lot of insight into what already happened. So still to be able to keep you, intrigued through the events leading up to that event, which is like the climax of the whole thing. It kind of culminates to that. Um, like you said, it was very good for a documentary style of anything really.
yeah,
There's not too
yep,
many things you can show the end result and then still keep interest throughout until the end, which you already kind of gave a little premonition into.
yeah,
So crazy.
yeah.
What
You
do you
know what?
think of
Like,
the? Oh, go ahead.
we're saying like there needs to be more of this. I bet you there's like thousands of hours of on YouTube of like people doing documentaries with purely body cam footage.
Yeah, and we're like, there's a whole fuck.
And
Damn, you know what?
like
You're right.
I
We acting like it's untouched, but I've never seen anything so. Netflix is a hell of a platform. So
yes, yeah, cause like, now that I'm thinking about, I'm sure somebody has body cam footage of like every time some pedophile was arrested, and they've got a whole documentary. Yeah, but okay, I haven't seen it. It's like I'm not on YouTube that much. So like this being like a way it was presented, I think that's okay. So now I can go look for more things like this. And I
yeah,
definitely will. I definitely will.
it opens that door to like people like to watch this kind of entertainment or like documentaries. Mind you, it's number one on Netflix too, so that's not.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's nothing to scoff at. So I'm like, okay, so yeah, people are like, you're watching it.
As I was watching it, I was thinking this is a true crime documentary that is made by someone that isn't just a like slut for like horror. You know what I mean? there's
They were
like
getting at something else with this.
yeah, exactly. Like there's something like we're not just like talking about this man like slaughtering like somebody he raped. Like there
Yeah.
is like connections being made to it's not just horror porn. Like and I really appreciated that too cuz like I don't like true crime for that reason. I think it feels extremely exploitative, and I think there's got to be a connection that these filmmakers have, maybe not to the community, but to a situation that is giving them the tenderness to make it in a way that it's not exploitative to these children. Like I felt horrible for these children. Their mothers just passed, but I didn't feel the anger that I have in like different true crime documentaries where like there's a camera getting shoved in their face. It's
Yeah.
like, how do you feel? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's, I don't know. Number one makes sense.
Right? The way the lens it was put through was just more real and raw than
Hmm.
when like documentaries are shot with like a your normal typical like camera.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what do you think of the stand your ground law in Florida?
Um, well, she was convicted.
She was
Um,
convicted.
as soon as I heard the story, I'm like, oh, like she definitely deserves to be convicted. Like, there's no way that you can stand your ground. Like, that's some bullshit, you know? Like, if she
So,
broke your window, like, maybe then.
yeah, and
Did the
like
door,
proceeded to like come through like she had a way in.
yeah.
This was
No,
a
like,
metal door that was dead bolted. Like
like,
this was
yeah. Get the fuck out of here. You were safe, and you were mad, and you felt frightened because you're racist. So, like, I mean, like, go to
and she
jail.
wanted it to happen. She wanted her
Yeah,
to AJ to come at her in an aggressive way. She was just that's why she researched that law. She was planning to use it as her excuse.
yeah.
She even tried to be
Don't get
like
me
in the
wrong.
interview, she
Yeah,
tried to be like, "Oh, I haven't searched it in years. Like I searched it up before, but and then they're like, "Well, we got your search history.
yeah.
It looks like you were researching this law so you could try to justify like what you wanted to do, like premeditated. Simple."
And then like a lot of like there was some stuff that they didn't really touch on like as a whole in during the documentary. Like they just took a glimpse at it. She had thrown the gun in the trash.
That
She
part,
like get this
that
bitch
shows
out of
intent.
here.
That shows intent alone.
Like yeah, like get out of here. Like I don't know. There's
She tried to come to the door like she didn't know what was going on when they're like, "Hey, come out with your." I would have been like, "Yeah, it happened." Like guns on the, you know what I mean? Like you'd be more
yeah,
cooperative if it really was that kind of situation. Like,
yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, they knew it from the start. The detectives, I feel like that were interviewing her, and
Yeah,
even then, the first time they knew, they were like, "Yeah, you shot through that door, knowing like, well, not knowing. I mean, her kid. It could have been her
yo, it
kid
could have been
banging
a
on the
cop.
door, and she was yelling,
Yo,
"Yeah,
she called the cops, right? She called the cops. You have to come. And then somebody was knocking on her, like banging on her door. It's like, okay, it, that was the woman, right? But
right."
like, let's say there was a time after that, and then somebody else was banging on the door really loud. It's like, okay, well, every cop I've ever seen bang on the door is trying to shake it out open
Yeah.
with as much force as they can. And
Right?
yeah, okay, so
I'm
like
saying
you just shot at a cop. Okay, well you didn't look.
felony.
Like felon. Okay, you just killed a cop, right? Like for real. I mean, the cop wasn't going to be killed if they were shot in like because they got a jacket on and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But like, and
Their
that's a
chances are
small,
way lower.
small, like tiny little gun, whatever, whatever. But like, okay, well, that's attempted murder of a police officer. That's
You're cooked. You're done.
you're, and like, we need to keep treating every citizen in that same way. You know, if it would be attempted murder of a police officer, it should be the attempted murder of a black mother.
Literally. Thank you. My point
They're the
exactly.
exactly. Like we are, you know, police officers don't stop being people. They're not elevated, and they're not degraded either. Like
Yeah, I'm definitely for it being like equal across the board. Like if you I can understand that the law sees it as like if someone's coming at me and I pull a gun and I tell them like stay back or I'll shoot you and I shoot them and I hit them once and they're incapacitated, like say they fall down, they can't get up, they don't have a weapon to like come at me anymore. From that point, if I leave them, I'm in the right. Like I didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean?
right,
Like, but say if I shoot them, and most people know this. I mean, if I shoot them and then they turn around and start running away, and I chase them down and shoot them again and kill them, like then I killed them. Like it's a different situation because the danger had stopped. You know, the threat wasn't imminent. And then another thing is like also like we were just speaking on earlier, like you don't know what you were aiming at, you really don't know what you were shooting at.
yeah,
You had like an image in your head like playing out maybe what you wanted, like some kind of weird ass fantasy or something, because I do believe she wanted this kind of situation to present itself. She orchestrated things for it to happen that way.
yeah. And I think actually that's something I really wanted to touch on. These delusions of persecution, sainthood, importance, intelligence, and wealth. Like these are all things that this woman like, and they have footage of her lying on. Oh, I was gonna buy this apartment, but I'm just renting. I was gonna buy this was gonna be all mine, but like I really didn't want to buy it.
Yeah,
Okay,
she
bitch.
claimed she was moving out. She claimed that she was gonna move out because of these people. Like one of the neighbors said when they moved in, she said she was moving out. So
Yeah, like, and that's the delusions of persecution. Like one of the neighbors said within the first days of her moving in, she was yelling at kids,
that's crazy.
which means she felt like these kids were purposely attacking her the moment she moved into this neighborhood.
Right.
Which, hey, let's imagine a way that they were, right? I can't. like
I mean,
I, I mean like I really can't. I can't imagine a world in which these children were targeting her the first 3 days that she was in the neighborhood, that they were targetedly harassing her. It's like, no, she called the cops right away. Crazy.
and no one else had a problem. Like they talked to other neighbors and people in the surrounding, right in the little community there, and no one else had a problem with the kids. They're like, no one else has ever called the cops. No one else has really ever had like a situation really arise. Like They're playing football in an empty field. Like, let them be kids. Like, no one, they're not
Yeah,
bothering anyone. They're not out vandalizing stuff. Like, come on.
yeah, yeah. Oh, there was a quote I wrote down. She's a when the black female cop is speaking to her. She kept saying how convenient. Oh, there's no footage of her. Oh, you can't believe that she would hit me with a sign. Oh, how convenient. How convenient. Oh, there's no witnesses. How convenient. And she just kept saying that to this black woman. I'm like, oh, this is like this woman's a psycho. This
Yeah.
woman is having these racist delusions. And like, but like this is exactly why mental health is more dangerous than anything here. Like, how does this woman have a gun?
Yes, exactly. But, that's obviously, yeah. How did she get a gun? Like, you could tell she's not right in her head, and the fact you gotta, I mean, to me, you gotta look at like the system she was brought up in. To a degree, it
Yeah.
teaches it
What?
teaches her to use like certain privileges to, which is what she was trying to do to a degree too, not just
Oh,
with the law. She
definitely.
figured like using fear it wasn't fear, it was actually foresight, but trying to frame it in as fear, and make it seem normal that she should be scared because a black woman was like upset that this
She
lady
was
was basically
harassing her kids.
harassing
Yes.
her kids.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Uh,
I'm saying, like, it's right there. It's right
Yeah.
there.
Definitely. Definitely. Oh, there was another thing I wanted to, man, I like it's so fresh. Like it was a great idea to watch it and then just like jump right into the podcast. Great idea. Because it's
It's hot
like
right there. I'm telling you.
yeah, like I'm still vividly sick of this woman, you know? Oh,
Yeah, I couldn't stand her. And then the
okay.
kids
So
like were just like, that was just so soul crushing. Honestly, that was,
oh,
you
her
know.
talking about the N-word. That's
Oh,
one of the things I wanted to touch on.
in the interview, yes. I mean,
Okay. That is well, I was taught it was, those dirty. I'm like,
out-
this is
outlaws.
this is the most racist way you could think about it. Like, like it's so obvious that because like it sucks when you like see someone like put in a position to like wow they might be racist but it was a tricky situation and like damn it looks bad but like they're not actually racist, this was just a bad situation, right?
Yeah, you could say like I could see how it could look like it. It's just kind of
Yeah.
played out a weird way, like, But this, yeah, like
I
this
think
is
this
your
could have been one of those situations. And like at every turn, she is like, yeah, but actually I'm really racist. But
right.
like
Like it
but
was
like I really hate black people every chance she gets. And
like
like
she's
that's
trying to show you that she
yeah,
doesn't like blacks. Clearly, like
like over and over. She, the,
blatantly, like they even the kids were. They asked her point blank in the interview. They were like, "So what would anyone have footage of you using the N word or calling like the kids the N word?" And she was like, "I have no idea." So right off top, you know for a fact that you've been saying it because you don't know if anyone was filming it. So I'm like, that alone proves that you said it to
Oh,
those kids. Like, and you know, obviously we hear what she thinks. Like, I was raised, that the word means like you're unlawful, you're dirty, you're rude, you're grimy, you know, all
talk
these
about seeing what
negative
you are.
things.
Talk about seeing what you are.
Projecting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unlawful.
literally.
You're whipping a gun out at kids. Unlawful. You're you're yelling at children. Rude. Like it's
Yeah. Yeah, Red, is there any videos of you using like racial slurs? Is there a chance anyone has videotaped you using racial slurs and it's public and it could be used against you?
no. Let
But
me
yeah,
tell you. But
I'm
like it's
telling you,
real.
like
Like yeah, I just go, oh no. Guess
as
what?
soon as
No,
she
because
said as soon as you say I have no idea, like that just means you don't know if you were filmed. You're basically admitting that you have said, whatever they're saying you said.
yeah,
In this case, we know the lady was racist.
yeah. I,
And the cops to a degree like like I feel like they should have recognized the pattern. I'm sorry. Like you should have recognized the pattern, not just file reports and walk away kind of thing. Like I would have been like, well, this is the third time this late. Like I'd be like, there's a problem brewing. Like
yeah,
it's their
yeah,
job to like anticipate too. Sometimes they just react, and that's the wrong approach.
yeah. And I think that's the classic, like, that's what's wrong with the police, right? They can't really anticipate because it's not legal to. But it
I
would
mean,
greatly benefit if they would just communicate. Like don't try to like just communicate to maybe her extended, like she had a daughter, her daughter was there helping her pack her shit up.
yep.
Like
With
maybe communicate to her, hey, your mom's like sick. Because I bet you that didn't happen. Like you can communicate. Like my grandma fell, right? And my family didn't find out that my grandma fell until my grandma like called us from the hospital. Like an ambulance came and picked her up, took her to the hospital, but when the ambulance showed up, the community manager of like the old folks apartments like that it was, like locked her door for her, like made sure that she had like her keys and her ID and stuff like that, but still didn't call us. You know, like there's
he should have called you immediately after he called 911. I
exactly
get I
like
get
that's what
911's
I
the
mean.
first call, but
That's what I mean. Like these cops are like clearly being exposed to a woman that is having a mental health issue. Like, why are they not contacting her? I mean, maybe not her next of kin. Like, or maybe that's the only person that could be written on her person you contact, like on your driver's license. But like when you're, that's a great time to call someone. Like irrational anger is a great like touchstone, a great highlighter, like huge red flag for like somebody's going through something.
oh yeah. This is the multiple times they came out, certain cops, I'm sure repeatedly went out there. It's not like they were all different and no one could like put it together. Plus they document all this anyway. Um all right, I have a question. Do you think if the roles were reversed, Do you think there would have been like a different result? Like, do you think like the cops would have been reacting the same way?
Are the cops all black? Like, are we switching?
No,
Are we
same
doing a
cops,
hard
same
switch? Okay.
no, same cops, but the like if AJ was the one calling the cops,
Oh, okay. I thought we were going like a full switch on the
saying
neighborhood.
this
Okay.
lady's kids, like like you see what I'm saying? What I'm trying to get at? I'm like,
Yeah.
do you think? What do you
Um,
think? Do you think?
I think there would have been similar dismissal for people calling the police. Um, I think the big change would have been after the shooting had occurred. They would have locked that black woman up so quick. Like the fact that she was just like out and out and like wasn't in jail was crazy. I think that's where the biggest change would be.
Like you said, why did she have a weapon? And I thought, based on the pattern of her calling and the way she was acting, they should have looked into her. I feel like they could have been like, whoa, she does have a weapon. Like, I don't know. She's always having problems with these kids. It's like there was a suspicion that she had told the kids or shown the kids that she had a gun. So I'd have been like, yeah, I think we need to go. At least go talk to her about it. Let her know that we know. That kind of makes people more chill. Like, oh shit, they started looking into my shit. Let me just
Yeah.
pipe down.
Yeah, but that's the same thing like how much grace they give these old like women. The grace that she got when she's at the end, there's like, okay, well, we got arrested, take you to jail, and she's like, no, I'm not going.
It's like,
I'm. It's like,
did she just say she's not going?
yeah, and like
I
truthfully,
wasn't asking. I mean, I'm
truthfully, those cops sounded befuddled. Like they're like,
honestly, they were so patient. I was like, tase the bitch.
no, but like that's what I'm
As soon as
talking
she
about.
said, well, all I need is one reason. As soon as she said, I'm not going, right in the neck, she going down. Da, 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 da. Get her, cuff her up. Get her the.
And
You gonna need medical. You gonna need medical. No,
do you think she was really a doctor? I want to research that, by the way. I want to find out if she was really a doctor. So at one point, she tells the the black police officer, "Oh, I'm doctor, blah 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 blah." I don't think she's a doctor. I don't think she's a real doctor.
me either. I think that was just a bunch of bullshit she was feeding, just like everything else was. Like,
And see, like this is uh what else did I write down?
and she didn't have nothing to say about the kids or the fact that, like when they told her that she passed away, she was like, oh my God. And like, but it was more, she was more sad and shit out of the fact that, like, oh, now she knows she's in more trouble than
Yeah.
like, oh, I actually killed this lady, like her children, her family, like, over, kids playing in a field, to where it escalated to, like, I mean, she was harassing the kids, but like the fact that it even got to that point was just like crazy. I mean, I'm not blaming anyone's going to stand up for their kids. I'm not blaming her for going over there,
Yeah.
but it should have been a conversation. Even if it was a semi-heated one, it should have been a conversation that could have been worked out versus, this lady,
I don't
trying to
know if
use
you if
like,
if she assaulted the kid. Like, you're throwing shit at kids, and then you're
Yeah,
running away when their mama comes.
and saying you're scared and shooting and like and when you're using your fact, just the fact that you just because you're uncomfortable does not mean that you could say you're in fear for your life and like do what you did. Like her whole angle at it was like bullshit. Like I'm like, besides the fact she shot through the door blind, like that's the obvious like thing that was like, well, you fucked up right there. Like in any situation, really, you're not gonna get off from doing that. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter who it was. Like the roles could have been reversed. They would have still got the person on the fact that they shot through the door without, like, they didn't come through the door. If they broke through the door, it'd be a different situation. But her door was intact. Like she was like, I thought she was gonna knock the door off the hinges. Like, lady, the door was dead bolted fine. Like,
And you know what? Have you ever kicked down a door?
not in the time they said it took for her to hang up the phone after she called and shoot her. Not in 2 minutes, a minute and a half. I didn't kick in no door that was dead bolted. Metal door. I
Right?
mean, if it was like wood, you could break through the door, but this door was a front door,
Yeah, like you can Rampage Jackson those like interior doors, but
like a bedroom door. You're like, yeah, I
oh yeah.
fucking just walked through the shit. Like,
Yeah, I mean to tell you the truth, like my family has multiple times accidentally ripped off those like the handles. Like just like it did just come right through. It's cardboard, like those shits are cardboard. But like a metal exterior door, especially because you know like she's a fucking psycho and hates
uh,
black people. So you know she's got a really nice door. And you know she complained to that landlord and he put a nice fucking lock on there. So you know it's nice. Like
yeah.
it's it's a
Preach,
psycho, such a
preach.
psycho move on her end. It's like, oh, I'm scared for my life. It's like, oh, yeah. I mean, like, okay,
That's
so
that entitlement shit. Like she tried to use just the fact. Look, we
I
all
was in the bathroom and I was scared for my life. I
no.
washed my hands
I
and
threw the
then went
gun
to
in the
go.
trash. Literally, as
Oh,
soon as she started knocking on the door, she grabbed the gun and shot. Like, we gonna call it like it is. The detectives knew in the time they could break it down with the phone calls. They're like, basically, she
yeah,
banged on the door, like, "Hey, like, lady, answer your door," and she shot through the door. That's what
yeah,
happened. The lady should have answered the door. She shot through the door. She killed her. She had been waiting for the moment played out perfect for what she wanted to carry out.
yeah,
And she wanted to use her privilege, I'll say, to say like I was uncomfortable because you weren't scared. That's a bunch of bullshit. Like she was uncomfortable with the people she lived around, and she tried to use that law to her advantage. She tried to blanket it, her racist and entitlement. She tried to blanket it with that stand your ground law. Is what she was trying to
yeah.
do.
I think that's a great analysis of that behavior.
And I'm not, a lot of cases like the law and shit like that, it comes up short and it fails. But in this case, it actually played out perfect. I have to admit, like it literally, and that's one of those laws that looks. I feel like it looks good on paper. Like when you read it, you're like, oh yeah, you could stand your ground if you're in fear for your life and you can defend yourself, basically.
Yeah,
I forget at the end, I don't know if you remember the percentages. It says that law has actually shown that like whites kill more blacks and they use that law as like a defense.
yeah.
And the
Oh,
numbers just sort of seem out of whack. I'm like, yeah, I think some people they try to blanket things in that law.
yeah. It's a way to skirt, you know?
And that's what she tried to do.
Yeah, it's very interesting that like nobody seemed to be like we didn't get to it clearly wasn't a case of like this institutionalized like help for for her cause. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I thought was very telling. You know, like I feel like maybe there just wasn't any dumb people on the jury that day. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe that was just like the one time in forever that there wasn't a single dumb fuck on the jury. And
Somehow they picked 12 super coherent fucking people.
yeah. Like
Because, what I noticed is she was calm, and I think she was expecting like sympathy and like this old white lady just
yeah.
saying she was scared,
No, but
So you got to give a shout out to the prosecution too for laying it out in a way that showed the events play out as they did over time and show
yeah.
that a pattern was formed. Like this was, escalating.
Yeah. Golly, yes, I feel bad. That was her response for how do you feel hearing that she passed away? Golly, yes, I feel bad. Ah, man, what?
That's crazy. That is that is a horrible attempt at faking it. I mean, because it's all bullshit, but at least like that's all she could muster. I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
it's
no, 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 even crocodile tears. We can't even get fake tears over here. Like nothing.
and she didn't even. There was no remorse. It
No,
played out
there's
the way
none
she
at all.
wanted it to play out. I feel like she got what she wanted.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like she got exactly what she wanted. She just didn't. She didn't manifest the rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She just manifested that moment of like, yeah, that bitch is gonna bang on that door and I'm gonna shoot her and I'm gonna be the stronger person for that moment. And it's like, but you're an evil whore and you're gonna rot in prison. And like, I don't know if that's enough, personally.
because these kids, they're gonna be still, and from what I saw, like, I think it was the oldest one that feels. He said he feels guilty. Like if he wouldn't
Yeah,
have left his like, something he left over there that she got that the mom went to go get as well. The tablet, I
yeah,
believe it was.
yeah.
I mean, that is just like no person should have to carry that, mind you, from the time they're a child even into adulthood. Um, yeah, and then those kids just saying, how their heart was broken was just like,
That was
like I
rough.
said, soul crushing. Yeah, that shit was it
Hey,
was
soul,
a
soul
real
crushing is
dose
the way
of
to put it.
yeah.
Whew, brutal.
So, I think part of it is it's I feel like it's normal for like it shouldn't be okay for people to act that way. It shouldn't be like normalized. Like just because your neighbors are a different color doesn't like make it okay for someone to be harassing them even through the police, because that's kind of what was happening. It was like she was using them to like harass them besides what she
Yeah.
was doing to the children directly, like even the parents, because then the cops got to go over and talk to them as well, and they're like, hey, the lady's saying like about the kids, most of the cops from what I saw were like just kind of like you said, they were just like, well, they're kids too. I could tell a lot of cops are like, well, they're kids, like what the fuck, who cares, let them play,
Yeah.
lady, like. But you know like I said, there was a pattern being formed. It should have been recognized, like.
Yeah, imagine if one of those were like a psycho cop that like actually got in the face of one of those kids. That's like, damn, that's kind of like,
And like a crazy situation happened from that, like.
yeah, like it is, you know, let's say everyone that I've spoken to in law enforcement says, hey, it's probably like 25 to 30% of cops are fucking psychos.
That's
I'll
a high
accept
number. That's a
that
high
is
number.
that is a high fucking number,
That
but
is a high fucking number.
and
Wow.
that's from people on the force. Like, hey, you know who you are. Don't keep not being one of them. Like, but like you hear the stories from these dudes, and it's like, okay, well, if like I'm hearing these stories, and this woman's a doctor, I'm sure she's heard stories in a similar way. I'm sure she
Yeah.
knows that there are cops in the southern town that she lives in that hates black people as much as she does. I'm sure she has that belief,
Yeah.
so it is a direct threat to call the cops on these little kids because she knows if she was a cop, she'd be beating these kids up.
Yep. Harassing them, doing whatever she could to inflict harm.
Yeah. And like and that's where I think obviously that institutional racism that is in some towns didn't appear here um in that way. We could talk about like her getting put in prison after like way too long of time. Okay. Like, yeah, that's definitely we're still getting remnants of it. I I I
Do you
get
think
it.
it was weird they didn't arrest her like sooner?
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh
have
yeah.
her detained? Do you think if the roles were reversed,
Okay,
they
I
would have
think
detained?
truthfully I think
And
a
I'm not
lot of it
saying they
has to
would.
do with
I'm not.
age. I think a
Fair.
lot of it has to do with
I
age.
I'll give you that a little. I could understand that to a degree. And I'm not saying they would or wouldn't have. I'm not saying I think one way or the other. I'm just asking like, what do you think? Like, do you think it would have played out the same, or do you have like any suspicions that it might not have? Like, I'm not
Yeah,
so
let's
sure.
let's say it was an old black woman, right? Um, I think she probably would have been arrested a little bit sooner. I think that would where the difference would be. Um, but I also don't think she would have been as treated as well when she was harassing the kids and like calling the cops on them. I think that's where there would be a difference. Like I do think there would be like genuine cop interference um towards her if she had been black.
So getting back to the previous, like if the roles were reversed, it would kind of have played out different. Like I think I agree. I think the police activity would have been a little heavier. I do feel that way just based on what you see from law enforcement, like largely. So yeah, I agree. I think it would have played out differently. Like, but I was just surprised with everything they knew, with the history they had. They had documented themselves. I was surprised that they didn't arrest her sooner. I would have looked back at all the calls and things that had
Yeah.
been going on and been like, we need to bring her in. Like,
Like the dark
I
part
do
of me
understand
was,
age factors in. Like with her
yeah,
age, they're like,
her being an old
well,
woman, I think, is a big deal.
we could bring her in, no problem. Like if they're assuming.
Yeah, where is she gonna run to? Mexico?
Yeah,
Like
really.
she's a
And how
racist
fast
old.
could she be? Like, yeah, yeah. Where she? That's a good point. Fuck you going?
Ah,
But yeah, I'll say it was it was racially motivated, premeditated. It was brewing. She was looking for a reason. She was looking for an
oh yeah,
excuse, an opportunity. I mean, if you're showing kids and saying you got a gun and you're throwing rollerblades at them, like legit a full on rollerblade at someone else's kids, like whether you have kids or not, you got to know that's a problem. There's no way like she was that dumb. She was not oblivious to like what she was doing, what it would ensue.
yeah. Hey, you know what? There's one more little thought game I want to play because you said yeah, like she's flashing this gun, right?
Right.
How do we treat, let's say, a young man flashing a gun? We're furious. We're furious they're flashing a gun
He's a
around
threat.
kids. He's a threat, you know. Like like old women need to be held to the same standard. Like if an old woman flashes a gun, like I want them to go to prison. Like that's brandishing a weapon.
Yeah. Just like anyone, like
Yeah,
the bar should be, it should not, age should not factor in.
yeah,
I'm not saying there's never extenuating circumstances. I'm just saying in that situation, someone that is supposedly of coherent mind, like you said, they're out there free, like not institutionalized, have a gun, is pulling it out, showing it to kids, like, yeah, we're picking your ass up, like you're done. The gun shit is over. That's how you eliminate those fucking problems that seem to have slipped through the cracks. Because I do agree, like she shouldn't have had a gun in the first place. But we're only human. Mistakes are going to be made. But there was a situation where you could have even remedied that situation, and they didn't.
yeah. They didn't. They
They
didn't.
didn't. And there is a normalization of, there's a real normalization of like black people being the more violent, the more criminal related like race or people, if you will, when like real crime numbers don't represent that. That's just the stigma that's been put out there, and like a lot of people try to ride on that shit. Like, yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, people try to attach it to convictions. It's like, okay, well, guess what? Like, if you really look at it, it's poor people being like, there's just more black people that are in poor situations.
Yeah,
Like, and I'm not saying black people are being more taken advantage of by the law, and it's very obvious from that data. But like, when you look at the white people that are also being taken advantage, they're also poor, and that's where like the connection I'm saying is. It's
oh, absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely, I can agree with that. It's definitely poverty as a entirety.
yeah,
The law
and
takes wreaks havoc on. Honestly, that's where they make their. That's what upholds the law, like money and
Yeah, I mean, you
incarceration wise.
you know what's crazy is like I've read a lot of sci-fi, right? And the US has been building this like sci-fi vision of a convict army for so long. Like so like these each all these prisons have like they're like private entities, right? They're like
Yeah.
these private companies that take the prisoners from the state and like essentially gain custody of them, you
Okay.
know,
Okay.
which is crazy, which is crazy. But like our entire country has all these people essentially like being their brains being melted into like psychosis. And I think the US is going to unleash a convict army upon during the next during the next big world conflict that needs fight like male fighters on the ground. I think the US is going to like unleash one of the like largest convict armies to ever see like the world to see, and they were just going to completely walk through whatever war we're doing.
That. So are these? Do you think it's like so? With you saying that, do you think so? Like the current administration, I feel most people feel. I'm pretty sure if you look at it, like they're trying to narrow down the type of person that is in the military. Like they're trying to phase out people based on like sexuality, race, gender, like identification. So I'm like, so they're trying to narrow it down to like a certain type of person, you know? So do you think it'll be like a race oriented army?
Um,
Or
like
would it just
in
be,
this convict style army thing.
yeah,
Um,
like would it be
I
like,
I was
is this,
I was leaning towards like gang divisions. Um, because like that's like famously what would happen in like convict armies, like slave armies in Rome and stuff. You would have these divisions of gangs led by you know someone that they usually felt like was the coolest, you know.
yeah, the leader type shit?
Yeah, but like sometimes it was like weird shit. Like, oh, this person like actually used to sell slaves, so like we want to back him because like he can genuinely like get us out of here somehow. You know, like there was a lot of that too. Like some of these people were like, oh no, we're backing like this dude because he's like a ruthless murderer, and like we all know that like that's the way we survive in this,
Yeah, we
Roman
need that kind
military.
of guy leading us right now.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't. That's the first documentary that I've watched, like, or a TV show or anything I've watched in a minute. That was pretty intense.
Yeah, it had me, I was tuned in from like the start to the finish. Like I was like, I couldn't believe it. And
Yeah.
then just thinking about like, just thinking about those kids, it's just, That shit is, and because I feel like it was preventable. I do feel like it was preventable. Shit shouldn't have happened. I feel like it even I think initially when they say where the shot was, it was like her right shoulder. So you're thinking like, all right, still a crazy situation, but she's gonna pull through.
Yeah.
But didn't happen, 'cause,
Crazy. Brutal.
yeah, just tragic, tragic shit. But she got 25 years.
Hey, it's not enough.
For real, say that shit again. The presiding judge too said he felt it was based in anger, not in fear. He's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh wee. Ooh wee.
I'm saying, crazy.
Well, our prayers for the family. Um, it's real bummer.
Yeah, just one of those things that's unnecessary. Like I was saying, did it need to take place? Like shouldn't have taken place.
Yeah. Condolences for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Condolences, all respect to the family. A lot of respect to them too for letting that um come out
Yeah.
and be shown. Just like I said too, the raw footage of it. Like there's a lot of personal things that happen there that like a lot of people might not want to be seen, but they were like brave enough to share it. So
Definitely.
along with the message though, like yeah, these things are happening and it shouldn't happen. Got to learn from it. Like these patterns, things like this got to be recognized. Like
Sad shit, bro.
yeah, yeah, I'm definitely more aware of the fact that people there's some people that were still saying like, oh, you know, it was an accident and she didn't mean to kill her, but I'm just like I feel like if you feel that way, you're saying, "Oh, it could have been me." Like this is kind of what you're saying. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When I'm
Yeah.
like, it couldn't have been me. Like, like that's crazy.
Nah, I would never shoot through a door. That's nuts.
I would never set someone up to be shot through the door like that. Like, especially based no other basis other than I'm racist too. Like that's crazy. Like there was really no other basis for her to like shoot this lady, regardless of race, even though it was racially motivated largely, mostly, but like she wanted that to happen. She was waiting for that moment. The fact they were smart enough to look through her search history too and find like, yeah, lady, you researched this shit. What the fuck, like?
I thought that her timeline was like so funny to me too. It's like, okay, I got off the phone. The knocking starts. I can't find my phone. I go find my gun. The knocking stops. I go wash my hands. The knocking starts again. I can't find my phone. I go get my gun.
Yep. I
What?
shoot through the door and I immediately
I immediately find my phone.
see. One thing I didn't catch was how did she know that she shot? Like, how does she know what happened? I feel like when she, I didn't catch if she opened the door after. Like, okay, if I'm so scared, I shoot through the door, right? And then it stops. Like, do you go open the door or do you just stay where you're at and call?
Yeah, that's a good question. Do you think she? I mean, I'm sure she heard screaming.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure probably the children were like screaming that she
Freaking
shot.
out.
So that it
Yeah,
could have been a get which, yeah, because you see the oldest on the ring cam.
yeah,
So it could have been that, but I was just like, yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit. Even from the 911 call when they play it, I'm like, she's like, I shot her. I thought she was banging on my door. I thought she was gonna come in and kill me. Like all this shit. Like, nah. Even when the cop comes up to the door is fine. It's not even fucked up or nothing. Like not dented, nothing. Like
yeah. And like those doors do that. Like that should be
if
those
you're
doors.
kicking it, you could leave.
Yeah. And now, is it? It's not opening, but like, I mean, and the cops when they ask the cops, it's like, was there any damage to the door? And they're like, nothing notable.
Nothing significant. They said
Nothing
like, yeah,
significant. Yeah.
like you. I wouldn't
Brutal.
say someone was banging on this door. Like, yeah, the case is just falling apart. Like the defense was like, should have took the plea. Fuck. I don't even think they were offered a plea, but they were like, this shit going to trial is she's getting cooked.
Yeah.
And I thought she was just gonna play the like I'm telling you, old white lady sympathy card, but like that's what's fucked up because it was evil, you know. It wasn't just a poor little old lady in this situation
Yeah.
card she tried to play. It was like meditated, like thought about.
When they were talking about her speeding through the neighborhood in the truck, I thought that was really interesting. Like that's I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've always tied that to like psycho behavior. Like driving through a neighborhood like really, really fast.
All crazy, and you know there's kids
Because
running around.
right, right. Like and like just because like the people that like I delivered pizzas with, the ones that
Yeah,
drove like, psychos through the neighborhoods were like genuinely bad people. like like no regard for human life in the slightest. Like drunk driving like dangerous drunk driving
yeah, not
constantly, you
the
know what I
drunk
mean?
drive.
Like
Yeah,
that's what her behavior was screaming to me. Like this is somebody that is making no good decisions and like shouldn't have a car. Yeah.
yeah, that was. Yeah, I don't. She was not fit mentally to just be out there with the freedom she had. It's crazy. I mean, you gotta know people and see them, before you try to say that you fear them and shit. Like you can't just you can't use your the fact that you're uncomfortable as an excuse to like take somebody's life. I feel
Yeah.
like there was too many kids where you lived. You didn't like all the noise or something like that. Like And you've been told like, hey, they're in an open lot, they can play there, they're not violent, they're not trespassing, like she would always try to call and say on them. So move, like you have the freedom to move wherever you want to live. So
Yeah,
go to
how
go
hard
to
is
a
it to move?
senior community where there's no kids.
No, like,
Maybe they
yeah.
visit a kid. Like you want quiet. Like what? There's that shit did not have to happen. You know, it was the lady wanted that shit to happen.
Can you imagine wanting to kill like some mom?
No, I can't.
Right? Right? It's so easy,
immediately,
right?
immediately, I'm like, actually, I can't. I
It's
cannot.
nah.
I don't know what that would be like. I don't want to know what that would be like. I know
Yep.
for a fact I wouldn't do it. Even if I didn't like the person, I could hate the person.
Yeah. I hate a lot of moms.
I'd still be like, raise your kids, be there for them, just stay the fuck away
Yeah.
from me.
Yeah. I
That's it. Like,
you know what's crazy? Like I've seen documentaries about like people that eat people. I
uh huh,
think
Hannibal Lecter shit.
yeah. And like well no, I think this one the one in particular documentary I think like the dude wanted to be eaten. Some dude in Germany like they had like some agreement where like you're gonna come over, I'm gonna kill you, and you want to die, so like this is cool, and I'm gonna eat you. And like this is gonna sound crazy. I think there's more logical thought happening in the situation I just described, where like two dudes are like, yeah, you can totally kill me and eat me. I think there's more logical thought happening than with what Susan was going through. Is that crazy? I think
Honestly,
this might be one of the most
I think
illogical documentaries I've ever seen.
I think I see what you're getting at by saying that, and in a weird way, it kind of makes sense. Like, at least there's agreement, like educated and informed agreement in that
Yeah,
the situation you described. Like, both sides are came to terms with what's going to happen, know what's going to happen. No one's being deceived.
yeah,
Like, you agree? Yes. Do you agree? Yes. Even if you're getting the shitty end of the thing, do you agree? I explained the whole situation. You agree? Yeah, I'm in. Okay, well then I don't see any conflicting. Like it seems fine, and I guess as weird as or uncomfortable as that makes someone, that's fine if there's agreement. Like
yeah,
I guess you might have some legal issues, but I mean between y'all, but yeah, because not liking someone based on their race is just not logical in any way, shape, or form. It has no basis. Like because not one person is alike, so there's no basis for
yeah,
you had a bad experience with one person of a certain race or something. So you had a bad experience with that one person. You don't fuck with that one person. Their race has nothing to do with it.
yeah.
That's one thing all races have in common. We can all be assholes, like or not. Like it's really it's really a roll of the dice. Like they come in all shapes, sizes, colors,
For
right?
real.
Life's not that easy. Life is not that easy to where you could just narrow people down by race. Like, oh yeah,
God, can you imagine
you
how
know,
nice it would be
I'm
if we could?
saying, you know what I mean? You don't know who it's gonna be. You don't know who the like. So you have to
No,
judge people on the content of their character because that's all you really have to really that you can make a rational decision off.
yeah. Can you imagine seeing somebody's like karmic number above their head? And everybody can, right? And you just get to see like this Susan bitch walking around. It's like just completely in the red. It's like ugh,
Flashing. Her shit flashing.
yeah. It's just like ugh. And like imagine just like being able to recognize like what a miserable soul. It's like ooh,
But see, that's the thing. It would change the way people would act because you would know that it's showing. You can't tell what kind of soul I got just by I could put on any type of face and be playing it however, knowing damn well like I'm not shit or like you know.
yeah, yeah. Who knows what face?
Because we put, like they say, like we all wear masks, you know, like we all,
Yeah,
everyone portrays like a certain, you know, on the inside, what you're feeling, what you really know about yourself deep down is like you could front and portray, you know, or you can learn and grow from it and wear your real face. And if you made mistakes, you made mistakes, grow from it. Just what do you do from that point forward is really, you know, like the key. Like everyone's messed up and done shit, like different shit, whatever. But like, what are you gonna do now?
yeah.
So
It's a great question,
it's
Lee.
a,
You all with this week? What are you gonna do now? Are you gonna be the perfect neighbor?
I mean, is there such thing as a perfect neighbor? In this case, the perfect neighbor was
In this case, the perfect neighbor was shot.
yeah, shot and killed
Yeah.
unnecessarily.
Yep. Crazy.
And I feel like, you know, it was the system is like partly to blame for allowing her to think that it was okay or
Yeah.
gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Like to a degree. Like she was brought up in the mindset of this. Like she didn't just randomly think of this shit one day. Like she was brought up in the mindset that if I'm uncomfortable and I don't like something, like I should be able to react any way I see fit,
Yeah.
you know, for
Definitely.
lack of better words. Yeah.
Yeah. This is definitely the generation of psychos that we saw like putting black men away for like rapes that never even happened. You
Yeah.
know, like this is that mental generation. Um,
And a lot of times it was for no reason. Like they didn't have problems with the dude. It's like you didn't even know the guy. You just
yeah, no idea.
decided like I'm gonna fuck his life up because I can. It's
Yeah,
really just like it doesn't. That's real evil to me right there. Like that's just like, come on,
yeah,
for what? What do you really get from it? Like it's crazy. So yeah, it's crazy. It does stem from that just an outdated, illogical way of thinking, way they were brought up.
what was her last name? I don't know. I'm gonna do a
I
little
can't
more
even
research.
say it. I
Oh, it
can't
was
even
some
say it.
bullshit. Some
It's
bullshit is happening.
Laurent. It starts with a L. I know that.
Yeah.
I
I'm
wasn't
gonna have
even
to.
paying it
I'm gonna
to.
have to hit that early life. So You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I'm trying to. It starts with a L though. It's
hey, but that was I don't know. That was just like brutal. Like that was such a brutal uh documentary. That was like
yeah, it
in a
was
good way, in a good way. But like,
it was intense, very like enlightening, and just a real dose. I feel like of uh a reality that's out there.
yeah, definitely.
But hey, thank you guys
Yeah.
for tuning in. This has been Red and Dread podcast.
Happy Halloween.
And yeah, happy Halloween. We'll see you on the next one.